Welcome to On Your Mark, Reset, Go. We're excited tonight. This is the show we got coming today, a new podcast focusing on the mental distresses of dialysis and the patient, their families, their caregivers, to overcome the mental distresses of dialysis and kidney disease. And so we're here today to share stories, to go dive deep into stories today. Today, we do have Terance Jackson and his wife is here with us today. We're going to talk to them. They're going to share their story about dialysis and kidney disease and how they overcame. And so we're excited to get started today. And so as you come in, listen, whatever questions you may have, you can ask whatever questions for myself or also for Terance and his wife as well. And those of you who don't know, my name is Fred Hill. I'm the host and of the show and also the founder of Reset Life Counseling, LLC, in which we counsel and we coach and we empower patients with dialysis and their family and their children, because dialysis, it affects more than just the patient. And also we work with people who have kidney disease, no matter what the stage is, because there are some things that you can do, so that you may be able to retract or maintain whatever that stage of kidney disease that you are on, that you have. And so if you would, we'll talk about that later on in the show, but that's the whole purpose of where we are, to let you know, as a patient or as a caregiver or as a child of someone who's on dialysis, as a spouse of someone that's on dialysis, to let you know that you are not by yourself. So we are here for you. Also today, I want to dedicate this show to Philip Jones. You can see I have my Second Chance shirt on. Usually I have my Reset shirt on, but Philip passed away yesterday. And he was a strong dialysis advocate for dialysis. He was over the Second Chance show. He was doing things with the Transplant Olympics. He helped out also with the Why Not Foundation of helping children who have kidney disease to get kidneys. He did a whole lot. And also, if you saw the intro to the show, he was there. We prayed together, talked together. We worked together on so many things. And so I want to dedicate this show to him and just to let his family know, his father and mother and family, that you guys are in our thoughts and in our prayers. And one thing I do want to say about Philip, he was very kind, caring. He was considerate. He helped a lot of people. He loved people, and he loved God. So I want to throw that out there big time. He loved God, and he was in the church, brought up. We would talk about scriptures, and before surgery, we prayed. We just had a real good time. He and another guy named Tafaro Cook. And so I just want to just dedicate this show to him. But today, and for others, I'm sorry, almost skip. I am a kidney transplant patient. I was on dialysis for 3 years. I did hemo and also I did peritoneal. And so for me being here today, that's the reason why I'm a strong advocate to help the dialysis and the kidney community, to let you know that you are not by yourself. And I want to introduce my beautiful wife. Yes, my beautiful wife, Phyllis. I call her baby doll. So as we talking, y'all gonna hear me say baby doll, baby doll, baby doll. So that's it. That's my baby doll. She's my caregiver. Even still, I have a kidney transplant, so she's here to help and right this awesome. And baby, I just want to tell the world I love you. Is there anything that you want to say?
No. Good evening, everybody.
Well, today we want to welcome to the show Terance and Erica Jackson. We want to welcome them to the show today. We're excited to have y'all on the show today. How are y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing?
We're doing good. Thank you for having us.
Wow, we're excited. We're excited about everything. So we're gonna jump in just a moment. But I just want to give a chance to talk. Terance is my brother. Man, I love you. I want to say that out loud. I love you with all my heart, and I thank you for doing the show today. And you and your wife, I thank you, Erica, my sister. I thank y'all for doing the show today because we want to help change lives and help as many people as possible who are dealing with dialysis or who are dealing with kidney disease. We really want to make sure that we're doing all we can to help them. And so we want us to say this right here. If you could take a little bit of time, Terance, if you could, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am, I really am, for those of you that don't know me, I am Fred's brother for real. A lot of times, by us being in the church community, we call each other's brother so-and-so, brother so-and-so.
Yeah.
We are biological brothers. He and I share the same father. So we are connected for real, bloodline. I love him, and this is my wife, Erica. We have 3 kids. Well, they ain't kids anymore. We have 3 We have 3 young adults, and I have 5 altogether. That all of them help out with everything that I've been going through.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Erica.
Hello, I am Erica Jackson, and this is my handsome husband, Terance, who I love very dearly. I'm excited about this interview, a little nervous because it's stepping out of my comfort zone, but anything that we can do to help others get through this, because it is a journey. And it does take a village, and we are thankful for Fred and Phyllis for all of their guidance and all of their knowledge that they have shared with us. So thank you.
Amen.
All right. Before we get going, I do want to say thank you. A shout out to Audrey Mills and Audrey Mills. She just got a kidney transplant a few months ago. So congratulations to you being on today. And also Tyler Jones, my man, all the way from Atlanta, man. Thank you for showing. That's my business partner right there. So thank you as well. But before we get started, we're going to go to a commercial. We're going to come back. We're going to jump into the show. All right.
Being diagnosed with kidney disease or being on dialysis can be devastating mentally, physically, and emotionally, not only for the patient but for their families. Reset Life Counseling, LLC is here to help you through the mental stages of uncertainty. Our program is designed to teach coping skills, social care, grief counseling, and life skills to help the patient, their families, and caregivers learn more about their roles and countermeasures of kidney disease. Our goal is to counsel, coach, and empower each client to regain their health and redefine their lives. Fred Hill, the founder and CEO of Reset Life Counseling, LLC, is a former dialysis patient. He is a kidney transplant recipient and an advocate for dialysis. We have individual, family, and group sessions available. Go to dialysisisnotyourlife.com and click on resources to find out more, or call 864-256-1591 for a free consultation. It's never too late to reset your life.
All right, we're back. We're back again. This right here is about helping, and Reset Life Counseling is here for you. And so I asked if you could go to www.dialysisisnotyourlife.com to schedule a free appointment, a free counseling session, because we're here to help. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. And those who have watched, if you have any questions for myself or for the Jackson family, just be free to talk, because we're going to get into it. And I'm excited about everything. So I'm gonna start with you, TT. Excuse me, Terance, if you don't mind, y'all. I call my brother TT. So I mean, if I slip there, I hope y'all don't think that's a sign of disrespect. But Terance, can you talk about the day you decided to go on dialysis, and how did you tell your family? If you could just take some time to talk about the day when you said, okay, this is it, I'm going on.
The day I decided, since it was September of last year, that's when I started. And my medicine intake was it had gotten to the point where I couldn't keep up with the medicine that they were prescribing for me to take every day, for me to take every day to stay off of dialysis. And I was taking so much medicine, and so many times and the requirement for the medicine, I was one I was supposed to take every 2 hours, and then the other I was supposed to take every 4 hours, but they couldn't be mixed. So that was a conflict altogether in the first place. It was I couldn't balance out my medicine, and my numbers they kept going, they kept getting out of whack, but because I couldn't take the medicine, but I wasn't ready. The whole time I was fighting from going on dialysis for 3 years. The doctor was trying to get me to go on dialysis for 3 years. And I said I wanted to try this and I wanted to try that. I just wasn't ready for it. And then it got to the point where I was just willing to put everything aside, because before then I was saying that I didn't want to do dialysis. I mean, that was in my head, because I had been around it so much. My 2 brothers were on dialysis, and I used to, watch them, not to mention you. But your case was different than theirs, because, we talked about yours, but I never saw you actually on dialysis.
Okay.
I talked to you because you did yours at night, but Kenny and Marlon went to the clinic, and I was fortunate enough. He was in Greenville and Marlon was in Spartanburg, but the Greenville clinic, they let me sign a waiver so that I could go in with him, because Kenny was, I had to go in. For those you don't know, because I am a preacher, and he was wanting to give up. He was wanting to give up on life and everything else while he was on dialysis. He had gotten tired. So they allowed me to come in, and I would sit with him, and I would read scriptures to him, and I would, talk to him, and, we would listen to music. We would do, different things or whatever. They closed us off so that we would be by ourselves, so that I could spend time with him, while he was on dialysis. Wow. Like I said, and I saw all of that, and I didn't want that for myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I felt like the dialysis would trap me.
Can you break that down a little bit more about trapping you? Can you break that down a little bit?
I felt like that I would lose me.
Okay.
My life would be centered around nothing but going to dialysis and, having to be on dialysis. I mean, everything would be focused on dialysis. I wasn't going to be living. I was just going to be here, because dialysis, I felt like it was going to consume me, I wouldn't be able to be myself. So I was wanting to do dialysis at home. That's all. I said, if I had to do it, I said, then I wanted to do it at home. And then where I was going, they didn't offer dialysis, at home. So I had a caseworker that worked things out for me. I had to wind up changing doctors and everything. And it wasn't nothing but God, because I mean, I got introduced to home hemo through a trial program, you know, that they would that was just coming out when. So I knew everything, because I had been praying, and you know, and as I was praying, God was just opening doors.
Awesome.
And because the things that were happening were after hours.
Wow. Okay.
They was moving. I mean, the lady to work with me, my caseworker, she was working after hours, and it was her last day of work. Her job was ending. It was her last day of work. Her job was ending, and she still worked until she got me situated.
Wow.
That's how God moved in. God moved in this situation for me, you know, so that I could be where I am, you know. And I don't take anything for granted, because I know, just like I had to get a new outlook, you know. And the first day I went to dialysis, man, I cried because I was so terrified.
Yeah. Because
I went there, I didn't actually think that I was going to do dialysis that day. I went there, I'm thinking that that they just going to show me around.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I thought they was going to show me around and, you know, introduce me to, you know, the team, you know, whatever. But no, man, they got me and they put me in there, and I man, they hooked me to they started showing me everything that I needed to do and all this and that, man. And I'm sitting there, and because I wasn't prepared, because I'm sitting there looking, everybody got on blankets and stocking caps and this and that, you know, like I said, because it's September. During this time, it wasn't cold, but it was a little chilly. But once, you know, I understand now, because, you know, once you get on dialysis, your body temperature changes.
Oh, yes.
And,
yes.
you know, when I was sitting up in there, my body temperature changed. I was so cold. My teeth they was almost like rattling. I mean, I couldn't stop from shaking. The lady, the nurse came over. She grabbed me by my arm to see was I all right. And, you know, me being a man, I didn't want to cry, but I was already crying. Tears were rolling down. I just wasn't boohooing, you know. But I mean, I don't know what she was, because she was looking. She kept saying, "It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right." And I mean, I was so messed up. I didn't even run but an hour that day. Yeah, because I mean, I couldn't run because I was so nervous and I was so unprepared. I mean, I just wasn't physically and mentally. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
But I needed it.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, I had to come back the next day.
Wow. 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 Wow.
I had to come back the next day. I had to come back the next day. So I had, and then, you know, how I was feeling. The thing is, when I came home, Erica was, you know, my wife kept calling me, checking on me to see how I was doing. And I wouldn't say, I just kept saying, I'm all right. I'm all right. I was trying to man up. I really was. I was trying to man up because I didn't want her to worry about me. You know, I need to get my feet up under myself, you know, so that I can let her know that I'm all right.
Yes.
Even if I ain't all right, I'm gonna be all right. You know, I got to get there. I got to get there first. You know, I don't want to fake it and tell you that I'm all right, and I know I'm not. So I couldn't say nothing, you know. So I mean, that first day it was really hard. It was really hard. It was really hard. It was I mean, my emotions, they just overwhelmed me.
Wow. Wow. So I'm gonna ask Erica, then I'm gonna come back to you. Because you said you were overwhelmed. Y'all, I'm writing as I go because I'm just so you know. But Erica, so with that happening, so I'm just asking. So if T didn't know that he was going on dialysis, and you knowing that he was going, because this is a doctor's appointment, going to interview or whatever, and he thinking that he's gonna be basically a tour, and so when in actuality he went on dialysis, literally. So what was your response? What was your response to that? as a spouse or as a caregiver, what was your response? How did you handle the surprise of it had started? And like T was saying, he wasn't prepared. So what was your outlook? What was going on in your mind?
I don't think it was a surprise for me. I think I understood that he was doing dialysis that day. I think for him, he was trying to mentally block it.
Okay.
So he was telling himself, I'm not doing dialysis today. I'm just going. But I felt like if they told him to come, that he was going to be doing dialysis. But what happened with me was I was calling him while he was there and I wasn't getting a response.
Wow. Okay.
So then my anxiety starts to rise because I'm getting really nervous and and all the wrong things are going through. Like, did something happen? And I was calling Essence, like, have you heard from your dad? I'm just texting. And he didn't call me, but our security camera went off and I saw him coming up the steps.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. So he's made it home. And he called me and he had just the sound of, disappointment in his voice. And when I got home, you could just tell that he was not ready.
Yeah.
He was not ready. And early in our marriage, after he'd been diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease, he told me very firmly, I'm not doing dialysis ever. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, we'll see when we get to that point. But he was adamant that he wasn't doing it. And so as a spouse, you start to think, well, normally if you don't do that, you go into kidney failure and you pass away.
Right.
So early, I start worrying about, how long are we going to be married? How long is he going to be here?
Wow.
But we understand that God has a plan.
Yes. Yes.
And all things are working out.
Yes.
All things are working out.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question, Terance? I know, like Erica just said, that you weren't ready at the time that you started, but was it because of, you had two brothers and then plus Fred, and you may know others and their experiences? A lot of times when we look at when we go through things that are the same, some people can speak a curse, if you would, because of what they have gone through. And so we have to be careful with listening to others and looking at how everybody else went through, because we'll start living that same curse, if you will. So is it because of what you had seen? Was that the reason why you weren't ready for it, or you just didn't want it at all?
I think it was a combination of everything. I have a cousin. I had a cousin named Gary he lived in Asheville, and he was on dialysis, I know, for over 30 something years, from his teenage, from a teenager, from high school. He was there on dialysis. And I like I say, it has been around me all my life. All my life, I've seen family members deal with dialysis. I just didn't want it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just gonna be frank. I didn't want it.
Right.
I can't lie. I prayed to God that I didn't have to go through it. But I understand, if not me, then who? Especially if for my family. I'd do anything to keep my family from having to go through.
Wow.
I think one thing, if I can say, for me, it's the same thing, being preaching God. However, the mind is, I don't want to go on dialysis because what I've seen grandma and with, well, my grandmother, with my aunts, and seeing all of that, that whole thing is, I didn't want to go. And I believe one thing that you said tonight is that you feel trapped. It's going to trap you. And I think, that I'm speaking of like myself and the others who've been on dialysis or however. I think that's one of the biggest mental challenges. Is more of, because you really don't, I'm gonna say this, you really don't know how sick or how bad you are, because when this disease is in your body, you tired all the time, but you don't realize it because you've been dealing with this for so many years.
So long.
Yeah. So you get adjusted. It's you think it's normal, but you're so tired. You don't have any energy. I can say, like, different things that affect your marriage. All these different things. And for me, yes, I was scared. I'm gonna put that out there too. I was terrified of for me, I don't like needles and I don't like blood. And so that's the whole thing that I seen was the hemo. And so for me, I'm like, no, I don't want that. But the reality of talking tonight, because I'm gonna say this, and this is probably gonna sound bad. I don't think for anybody who's going on dialysis, I haven't met one yet that didn't, okay, I want to go on dialysis, or I'm so excited to go on dialysis. I haven't seen that, but I do say, I wish that I would have had somebody to talk to. Because I mean, my doctor's awesome, but the thing that he would tell me is you have a choice of hemo or peritoneal. One deals with blood and one deals with fluid, and you got to make a decision. But I was never able to talk to someone to tell me, okay, this is what happens, the pros and cons of being hemo. This is what happens, the pros and cons of being on peritoneal. Or these are the things that you can do. Or to tell me, hey, you're not going to lose your life. Or you're not going to be trapped. Right. You can get your life back, or you can keep moving. I didn't have that. And so all I had was the mental picture of the horror of dialysis. Is that the same that you had? I'm asking that. Was that the same picture?
That's the same picture that I had, other than you. Everybody that I know that has been on dialysis, and up until you, was a horrible experience. Okay. And I'm not saying that yours wasn't horrible, but you presented yourself different. And you still went on vacations. You and your family, y'all still did it. Y'all still, you got pictures at the beach, this and that with the tape on and all this and that or whatever. I mean, you still went. I mean, other than you, I mean, if it hadn't been for you doing what you did, I don't think I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
Because I know there's another way.
Right.
I know there's another way, and that's what I was looking for. I was searching for the alternative, because I want to live, but I don't want to live this way.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm gonna tell you this. The next time I preach, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna write, I want to live, but I want to live this way. So, but I know, because that's so spiritual, and that's so right now. If you put it that way, because the mentality. Because I believe, now I'm speaking for Baby Doll, and I'm speaking for you too, Erica. That y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but that same mentality when it comes to the spouse that you love, is that the same? Is that the same thing? I want you to live, but I don't want you to live that way. Like when you saw me connected to stuff, is that the same mentality? I'm just asking.
For me, my mindset is whatever it takes.
Okay. To
have him here is what we'll do.
Right.
And he was very concerned about, I don't want to be tied down. I want to be able to still go. I want to be able to still do things. And God just showed us who he was in this situation because he started dialysis on September 13th, which was the day after my birthday.
Okay.
And he went to the clinic for 1 week. And they said, next week, we need you to come so you can learn how to take care of him when he does this at home.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, that's really fast. You know, we moving real fast with this thing. And so I went and had 3-4 hours of training. And he has a really, really good nurse who was, I mean, just very knowledgeable, very hands-on, very patient. And he comes home, they send the nurse out here, and she's like, well, I got to be with you for 2 to 3 weeks to make sure you're able to, you know, do all of this. You've got to have someone to sit here with you. And this one right here just had it, you know, locked down. I mean, he was just moving. I couldn't even keep up with him. I'm trying to get this stuff together, and he's just rolling past me. And they were so impressed. They said, well, you know, after a couple weeks, he didn't need anybody to stay with him.
Wow, that's good.
And then they cut his time down. So he went from 5 days to 4 days. And he was doing 3.5 hours at 5 days, but now he just does 2.5 for 4 days. And so I'm like, God, you showing out real bad.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's good.
And I've just been so proud of him though, because he realizes that he can still live.
Right.
He can still enjoy his life. He can still, you know, spend time with his grandkids and his children, and still be on dialysis.
That's
what
awesome.
about that?
That's awesome.
Right.
And I want to talk. We're gonna go to a commercial, and I want to come back because I want to talk about. We done 30 minutes of the dialysis part. I want to talk about life. Okay, I want to talk about life because you led us right. You led us right into it. So we're gonna jump on that, but we're gonna have a commercial right quick. Okay, and we'll be right back. Dialysis is not your life. The book and workbook by international author Fred Hill is available on Amazon.com. The power to redefine your life while on dialysis. Dialysis is a second chance at life. So what are you doing with this chance? I know that dialysis is challenging. I was on dialysis for 3 years, hemo and peritoneal. But you can still live a high quality, fulfilled life while on dialysis. You can get your energy back, your confidence and sex life back. Still go after your dreams and live your life out loud while on dialysis. The book teaches you that dialysis is not the end for you. It is possible to live and enjoy life. The workbook takes you step by step to make it all a reality. This book and workbook are helping and changing the lives of dialysis patients across the globe. So go to Amazon.com, order the book and workbook, and get your life back. Life is waiting on you. Okay, we're back. Let me bring okay, here we go. We're back. All right, we're back. And that's what the book, you guys. So, guys, if you desire right now that dialysis is not your life, regardless of being on dialysis, listen, you can get your life back. You can redefine your life while you are on dialysis. I'm a living witness. I've done it. Exercising, the program, your energy back, your sex life back. You can get your groove back. You can live your hopes, dreams. I mean, you can do it all, but honestly, it's not easy. You're going to have to put the work in, and you can't live with excuses. And so if you need help with that, the book and the workbook is here. Also, Reset Life Counseling, we're here. So please get that. Before we go to the next question, I got a question from a comment from Ruth Mills Sexton. She said, it's so hard to comprehend because I am stage 3 kidney failure. So I work so hard to do what I have to do to keep my numbers down. And Auntie Ruth, I just want to just tell you I think one of the things when it comes to kidney disease, stage 3, it's about how you eat. That's a big thing, about how you eat, what you drink, medications that you can take that can cause issues with your kidneys. And if you're not walking, if you're not exercising, those different things. And for other people, I'm not, because I know Auntie Ruth, but other people, if you are drinking alcohol, those different things you got to shut down. The exercising, that's number 1, and changing the eating habits, that's number 2. Watching what goes into your body. And making sure that you're drinking enough water, One thing that I always want to tell those who are dealing with kidney disease, you have to talk to your nephrologist. Stay on top of your BUN number. Stay on top of your what's the other number? The BUN, your creatinine numbers. What is it? Your creatinine numbers. Make sure that you know what's going on with your potassium. What's going on with your phosphorus. If you have to, make sure that you're getting blood work done at least every 2 months, because usually they'll say, okay, they'll give you 6 months. But the thing is, you have got to stay on top of your health. We'll do a show on this as we go, because when it comes to you, I'm not talking bad about any doctor, because please hear me. The doctor's job is to diagnose and work the diagnosis. And so the whole thing is to watch every 6 months. But the thing, when you understand, when it comes to kidney disease, it is on the rise. Kidney disease is on the rise, because of how food is made, because of medicines, because of when you're looking at obesity and people are not exercising and not doing all these different things, has something to do with your kidney. Your kidney is a filter. And so whatever you take in, whatever you drink, if you are smoking, whatever, it filters through your kidney. And so if your kidney is not, if you're at a stage 3 or 4, understand it's harder for those things. And so I say to you, I'm going to throw this out real quick. Anything that is white, whether it's sugar, whether it's milk, whether it's rice, whether it's anything that's white to eat, please cut back on those things. Say it again.
I say bread too.
Bread, all those things, cut back on those. And if you can cut it out altogether, cut it out altogether and start using, eat more vegetables, do more fruit, do more, we'll do a show. I'll do a show on that. We'll do a show because I'm here to talk to T on that. But if you got any more questions, I really want to make sure that I'm here for you. Please, guys, get the book. Get the book, Dialysis is Not Your Life. I promise you it will help. Get the workbook. I promise you it'll help you step by step to get your life back. Okay.
And also, if I may add too, I know when my stages started changing with my kidneys, I went from seeing a doctor twice a year to, it went to every 3 months, and then it went from every 3 months to every month, and then it went from every month to once a week. I was going to see my nephrologist once a week before I got on, because they were watching my numbers. My numbers were, my creatinine had went. It was at a before I got on dialysis, my creatinine was at a 12.
Wow.
It was at a 12. And they was calling me because I remember one day my lab results were so bad. He didn't call me. He called my wife on her job to tell me to go straight to the emergency room.
Wow. Wow.
And I just want to say to those that are watching, if you have a doctor that gives you anxiety when you go or when you leave, and you don't feel comfortable, find someone else that you can be comfortable with, because the doctor that he had probably shot his blood pressure out of the roof.
Wow.
He was so adamant about putting Terance on dialysis. We found out reasons why all that was, but we're not here to bash anyone. But it's just important that you're comfortable with who you're seeing.
Right.
And his caseworker was able to find him a different doctor that had really good bedside manners, that listened to what he had to say, how he felt.
Yeah.
And they had they formed a relationship that it was not so much that you have to go on dialysis, but this is the best path for you.
It's a difference.
And so he was then comfortable enough to settle down and to really think about the whole situation. But when the doctor called me, it was like he was trying to tell me what to do. Like, I'm the mom and he's the child. You need to tell him. And I was just trying to explain to him, it just doesn't work that way. I can't make him do, and you shouldn't want him to have to do this right now if that's not his only option.
Yeah.
And so my thing is just find somebody you're comfortable with, somebody that can understand how you're feeling, and even offer other resources if they feel like you need it. But it has to be a good relationship, a good rapport, because dialysis is not for everybody in the mental state. You have to mentally prepare yourself for that. And although I'm not the patient, I am the caregiver and I care for him.
Well, let me ask you this question before we jump in, because we talked about like the us being on dialysis, and we have that stress, we have the fear, and we're in that place to where mentally challenged and stressed and all. So let me ask you this question: Did you realize that you were up under your own? You were distressed and you had mental things, because for us saying, okay, we're fighting trying to go on dialysis and not trying to lose us, saying
Right.
not trying to be trapped. Okay, that's us. Okay, but then when it comes to the caregiver, you gotta balance job, you gotta balance children, you gotta balance food. I mean the things that the wife does and keep your life, and then comfort and help us. So did you realize, okay, well, I'm up under something too and trying to keep this thing together? And did you feel that way in any way? And matter of fact, how did you do it? How did you balance it for somebody that's going through?
So it's very stressful. Not so much that he had to go on dialysis, but trying to make sure that the household was still maintained, that it still flowed the way it normally flows, and not making him feel guilty because he had to go on dialysis.
Yeah.
I know myself, I like to leave a lot of things for him to do during the day. And so I kind of had to pull back from that. And even though I say, well, you'll be finished, because I always call and check and say, how are you running today? And he'll say, you know what, I'm just getting off. So then my next question would be, so what you got planned for today?
Okay.
And I had to digress with that because I realized that he needed some downtime.
Okay.
To kind of get himself back together from being on the dialysis. But he and I have a really good relationship when it comes to communicating, I think. But we've just kind of like developed, we have calendars all over the house. So we try to keep events that we're going to be participating in on the calendar. So we kind of know how to balance out the time of, how many hours we're going to be gone away from the house, if he has to preach, but just allowing those type of phone devices and, calendars to kind of help us maintain the busyness, but yet the calmness, and also making sure that we spend time together as well.
That's good. I really, I got so many questions I want to ask. But I got so many questions I want to ask. I really do. I know the show is like for an hour, but I mean, I got some questions. But let me say this right here. How are you living? That's for both. How are you living?
First.
You know what? I think after celebrating 25 years in May of marriage, I think we are doing really, really good. We, I don't know. It's something about when those children start getting older and you realize you don't have to kind of like watch over them as much. You start to kind of get your groove back a little bit,
Yeah.
And we took our first vacation since he's been on dialysis. In May, we went down to Savannah, and I think we just had a great time just being free. I mean, we are living really good. We are enjoying life.
That's good. That's
good.
And
that was an experience for me. Because when we returned from vacation, my machine was it malfunctioned, so they had to send me another machine, and it took 2 days. Usually, I get the machine, they'll send it to me the same day.
Okay.
But this time I had a 2-day layover. Okay, mind you, I hadn't ran since Thursday.
Okay. Wow.
Thursday. I didn't run Friday.
Oh, okay. I didn't run.
I ran Monday through Thursday. I usually don't run Monday through Thursday, but I ran Monday through Thursday and took the weekend out because we was going out of town.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And so when we got back, my machine messed up. So there was another 2 days that I didn't get to run. So it ended up being I didn't run for 5 days.
How did you feel? What could you tell? Okay, the toxins in the body, or could you tell tiredness or whatever? I mean, could you tell what was going on? Did you are you really?
No, I couldn't tell because I was nervous because I had never went that long without running before, and my thing was I was nervous, and because up until that point, I've always complied, done everything that I'm supposed to do when I'm supposed to do it, because they have a computer, because they can watch me as I run. And so my nurse, me and her was talking the whole time, so I was telling her, so I was letting them know, because I am on the transplant list, I don't want anything to hinder me from getting a kidney.
Yeah.
So I was letting them know that I was not willingly not running. It wasn't me. It was I had a malfunction with my, I was trying to explain everything, making sure that I was good on my end and their end. That it wasn't me, that it was the machine, and I was waiting on it. So it wasn't that I was not, trying not to run. I didn't feel like running and all that or whatever. But I was doing what I was supposed to do. It would just so happen that I couldn't do anything. But I mean, the days I didn't run, I mean, I felt good. I watched. I don't think, I done got to the point now where before I got on dialysis, I used to drink the little Yeti cups. I used to drink like 5, 6 of those a day. So I'm down. I don't drink like that anymore because I watch what I eat. I watch what I drink. I mean, I try to control my fluids, even though I am still able to go to the restroom, but I still don't want to, even though I'm getting help with my kidneys, I don't want to, take that for granted, because in the clinic, I saw a lot. I saw a lot, and I saw people doing things. So they don't, specifically tell you not to do this, but they do, because I watch them get on folks, and then I watch the people who doing stuff that they're not supposed to do, and then I because I'm an observer, and I watch their life when they come in and how they carry themselves or whatever. I don't want that. I like I said, I saw you, and seeing you now, it still don't look like you ever was on dialysis. That's what I want.
Well, you look that way. But let me say something, because this is something you and I has always talked about, is that you have got to know your body. That right there is key. It's key when you're on dialysis. It is key that you know your body, that when you eat this, it makes you feel this way. When you drink this, feel this way. When I do this, or if I don't do this, or because it comes to a place when you know your body and you know what's going on, when you go to the doctor, it's like, doc, this was happening. This is what I need. This is what I need. Because the thing where we don't understand is that the doctor is there for us. And
that's right.
When we first come and we're with the nephrologist now, he's telling us things that we need to do, and however, because that's the rule book. But it comes to a place to where you got to know what's going on in your body. You got to know what's going on with this medication, because they're going to give you, again, they diagnose the diagnosis. So if your head hurting, they're going to give you a pill. If this is, they're going to give you that. But the thing is, like what Erica was saying, there are options. So if this medication makes you too tired, or makes me sleepy, makes me anxious, makes whatever it is, there's other medications that are out there. And so if you're not talking, if you're not saying, and you don't know what your body feel like, therefore you become the guinea pig. And I know that sounds bad, but a lot of times that's what's been being on dialysis. We just go and we say, okay, we hear my head hurt, this one here, blah, blah, fix me. But the reality, when you know your body, my back hurts when this happened, when I got this much fluid in, this happens. So as we go, and when it gets to hour this, I get dizzy. So all these different things, you're saying, okay, you're going to them, this is what it is. And even to a place to where before I got my kidney transplant, I was able to say, I need this, and this, because I knew what was going on. I was sure. I knew the medications. I knew what was going into my bags. I knew these things. And so seeing what you're doing right now, it makes a big difference. And I think I'm gonna come back to a question that you said before. You said you had to have a new outlook. Break that down. I want you to break that out. Like, what is the new outlook that you have now?
My outlook now is I'm living. Yes. I'm here to it's not about, most people that's on dialysis Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, that's all that's on their calendar for the week.
Wow.
Because they are tired, and they base everything around the dialysis.
Yes.
But for me, because I'm in control of my dialysis, I do what I want.
That's right.
When I want to. I've ran dialysis as late as 11 o'clock at night.
Yes. Yes.
Because I had to do something all during the day. I didn't have time for it to fit it in. So now I do. For the most part, I have a schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
We get up. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning with her when she going to work. So when she going out the door, I'm getting on the machine.
Yeah.
So by the time she get to work and get going good, I'm coming off. I got the rest of the day to do whatever it is that I need to do.
Yes,
if I'm not feeling good after I run, I got enough time to lay back down and take a nap and refresh and get myself back up to go and do what I need to do for the day.
Yeah, but you're living. But you're living.
Yeah, I'm living. And then if I choose to see, the thing is, if I choose not to run that day, I got that option, because I got a day that I can fluctuate.
Yes.
I got a day. I just so happen to I run Monday, Tuesday. I take out Wednesday because that's my day for the Lord. I got to do what the thing I got to do and get myself prepared. And then I come back and run Thursday and Friday. Then I'm off on the weekend. But if I need to shuffle something around, I can do that.
But I want to say something to the people who are watching. You got to understand that the results that T has is because he does what is required. He's watching, like he said, he's doing the blood work. He knows what's going on with his body. He's doing the right thing as of eating. You heard him talking about the water. So if you are not doing that, your hours may be 4 or 5 hours every day. You might not get to skip. You mean, because again, you're I hate saying this, but it's the truth. You're just staying alive because you're not doing the things that you need to do. And so dialysis is the thing. Dialysis has you trapped. That's what it is. That's what I want to say. Dialysis has you trapped because you're not doing your part. So if you're doing that, then that means that you can't go and live. You can't really enjoy your vacation. Because the thing is, you don't know what's going to happen to you. You don't know what your fluid intake is. You don't know what's going on with the swelling or inflammation. Is it because of the fluid? Is it because of the food? Or is it because of medications? Right. All these different things. So I'm saying to you, T is living in the same example that he has. I promise you, you can have the same exact life, whether it be, but you have got to do the work. So it comes to a place of knowing your body, taking your medications when you're supposed to, knowing what you're eating, knowing what you're drinking, exercising, because if you're not doing that, you're not going to get your energy back. You're not going to get your sex life back. You're not going to get your strength back, because dialysis, it causes your bones to get weak. Dialysis causes your muscles to get weak. Dialysis causes your sex drive to go down. I'm talking men and women. And so all these different things when you're looking at in life, if you're not doing what you are supposed to do, listen, you're not going to see these results. But that's why the show is on. Dialysis is not your life. Mondays, that's why we're here today. That's why the book, that's why Reset Life Counseling. Because listen, I want you guys to get your life back and live and enjoy your wife and enjoy your spouse. Because again, let me say this right here, and I know this is gonna sound bad, but the reality, the lifespan of being on dialysis is really 5 to 8 years. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's real facts. That's the average, 5 to 8 years. So if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, that's your average, or maybe less. Mm-hmm. That's something to think about. Because
the thing is, you have to prioritize what's most important for you.
Yes.
Because we all have to give up something. Yes. And you give up whatever it is that you really it's something that you probably need to give up anyway, for the most part. But you're really not because you're gaining more than what you're giving up. That's what you got to understand. For me, processed meat, that was a big thing for me. Processed meat. I grew up on bologna, and I used to love ham sandwiches and bacon and sausage. That's that processed meat. A lot of things that you don't know that you think is good for you is not good for you. In the long run, it's not good for you. You got to get that stuff up. We cook with a lot of things that that's not good for us.
You're right.
It's not good for us. So we have to determine, because the thing about it is, is this worth my life?
Right.
So if it's not worth your life, then you can give it up, and then you can gain more life.
Yes. And that's what it's all about. It has to come to a place to where you're living. You cannot use dialysis as a crutch.
Discipline
is a second chance at life. So what are you doing? So if you're using it as a crutch, it's not giving you life. You're using it just to just cause you to exist.
Just to exist.
My job is to break the cycle of dialysis to where your life is 3 times a week. You go on Monday, and then on Tuesday you're too tired to live. Then you go on Wednesday, and then on Thursday you too tired to live. Then you go on Friday, then you come back Saturday, and you too tired to live, and you can't go. That has got to break. That's what we're here. That's why we're here, to break the whole mentality that you can still live and live big while you're on dialysis. And I mean, I'm just excited to see. And one thing, I'm gonna say this to us because every race is on dialysis, but the Black race is at the top. And so a lot of things with the Black race is because how we eat. And because we deal with high blood pressure. So I'm talking to those I pray you never go on dialysis. But if you have high blood pressure, you got to do something about that now. If you have diabetes, you have to do something about that now. You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna give myself a shot and then eat any kind of way. No, you can't do that, because again, you're using these things as crutches, and they're supposed to help you live. Because the more insulin that you take, it causes your pancreas to work less. And so you become so dependent, you got to take more insulin, and you're getting worse. Diabetes is getting worse. Then you start dealing with eyes going bad. Then you start dealing with your veins start to
neuropathy
deteriorate in the inside. So it's so many things that you look at in life that you got a chance to fix before dialysis come. And then if you can even dealing with your heart is I want y'all to catch this. Your heart is the biggest muscle. And when you go on dialysis, please hear me. Dialysis, the blood is going so in your body. I mean, all your blood is just 4 hours in and out of your body, in and body. So it's causing your heart to work harder. So your heart swells. It swells, and then it goes down. It swells and it goes down, and then eventually it swells and it goes down less. On the hemodialysis. Thank you, baby. And so then you find yourself, you have heart issues, and if you were to walk, just walking, simple walking, on the days that you're not off of, you got the strength to go, it can help all of that. Because if the heart is not working good, listen, everything else is going to crumble. So I'm saying that to all of us, everybody out there that's watching, you got loved ones, exercise, know your body. And so I'm excited. Terance and Erica, I so appreciate you guys. Let me ask a question. I'll start with, you got something, baby? I'm asking a question. Erica, if you had to say anything to any of the caregivers, whether it be male, female, that's there, because I know sometimes we as dialysis patients, we can be hard-headed, or we can feel like I'm speaking on me. We can be like, I got it, you don't know, blah blah. So sometimes we can be our worst enemies. And so, but what would you say to any of the caregivers or those who are watching about your story of understanding better? Whatever, if you had to encourage them, what would you say?
So my thing is, you have to understand the process of dialysis. You have to understand what the patient is going through, and just build a good relationship with communication. I mean, talk about, when he first started, my thing was always how are you feeling? How's your mental state? What are you thinking about? Is there something you think needs to change? How to change? And so when he decided to do the home hemo, we knew that was just going to be a big change in the household. But we talked about it. We had to talk about each step. Each time that he hooked up, I had to make sure before I left for work that he was comfortable. He had his blanket, got the remote. Is there anything you need? An extra pair of socks, or a hat, anything that he could possibly need, I wanted to make sure he had. And then to call and check on him. I can honestly say he has been a good patient so far. It was prior to the dialysis that he wasn't a good patient, because I would ask him questions and I would get some of the answers, but not all of the answers. How are you feeling? I'm feeling good. But then he's laying in the bed, 15 minutes extra. So I knew that wasn't true. But I just want to encourage everyone to just build that relationship to where you can talk. Because I think sometimes the caregivers kind of overlook. No, I think the patients overlook the caregivers when it comes to feelings. Because we aren't robots, we genuinely care. We're here to help. And the same way it affects their life, in a sense, it affects our life.
Right.
And so we just have to be patient with each other.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I think that's it.
Okay. Terance, well, I'm not done, but I want you to say the same thing. If you had to say something to a dialysis patient to encourage them to live, or encourage them to let them know that their life is not over, that dialysis is I don't know, but what would you say to someone that's on dialysis to encourage them to have that second look, that outlook that you have?
It's funny that you asked that, because now my nurse, whenever she has a new patient that's coming to the program, she would call me and ask me to come, and I would sit and talk with them, about my experiences that I've had, since I've been on dialysis. And I was at one point I was the youngest person that was in there, and the newest person, because the other guy that was that I trained with, he was in the clinic, and then he transferred to home dialysis, home hemo. So he had already been on dialysis. I was new, and when I that's why I say when I went in, we went in together to do the training. They didn't know that I had never been on dialysis before, so they was treating me like I had been on there. So that's why things went like it was. I had to stop them and tell them, I don't know what you. I said, y'all talking foreign to me, even though I had been around it, but I didn't know the language.
Yes.
I didn't know the language. I didn't know. I have seen it before, but I still didn't know. I didn't know. And so they was taking it for granted that I was already a patient. I say no. I say, this is my very first time and first day. Wow. I said I'm new to this.
Yeah.
I said I'm a babe in this, and but from then to now, I can honestly say that just like Erica said, my nurse Kylie, I try not to call names, but Kylie, you wouldn't believe the amount of time that she has spent in this house with me and Erica.
Wow.
She's golden.
When it comes to my products, my inventory, anything that I need, I don't care what it is. She went out of town today. She gave me a long paragraph, texted me a long paragraph the day before she went out, asking me if I needed anything, because she's going to be on vacation for the next 2 weeks. I mean, she just that thorough. I've met her husband. I've met her kids. I'm telling you, she's thorough. She's thorough. Awesome. I mean, her husband's name is Terance, just like mine.
Wow.
Yeah. And she made it a point to actually help me, to walk me through. Because from the very first day, I told her, and me and her talked, and I told her, and she just took me under her wing, and she showed me. She said she wasn't gonna hold anything back from me. She showed me everything that I needed to know. And to top it off, she's a Christian. So wow. we used to. She started off with prayer. and talking things with me and calming me down. She met me where I was at. She met me where I was at. And that helped out, because the fear, she let me know that I shouldn't be in fear. If God brought me to this, he would bring me through this.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
She helped me. She helped me see the light when I couldn't see it, because all I saw was darkness.
Wow.
And you know, because that's what you know, everybody thinks about dialysis. Man, I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that. I tell them, I say, that's, you know, I'm here to encourage you. If you need it, it ain't as bad as you think.
Matter of fact,
it's only as bad. It's only as bad as you allow it to be in your life.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And especially if you do it, if you do what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't expect. Because see, the thing is, I was, like I said before, I was on some. I got a tub of just medicine that I was taking.
Wow. Just
sitting over there right now. And since I've been on dialysis, man, I was on high blood pressure. I was on cholesterol. I was on gout medicine. I was on what else? I was taking the stuff for my thyroids. I was taking sodium pills. I was taking iron. I mean, I was taking magnesium. I'm telling you, and everything was working against each other. That's what everything I needed, but it was working against each other.
Yes.
And then once I got on that, I don't take nothing. I'm not even on high blood pressure. I ain't on nothing. I don't take nothing.
That's awesome. Dialysis is a second chance, y'all.
Yeah,
y'all gotta it really is.
And I'm not giving it credit to the dialysis, but I'm giving it credit to me changing my life to do the things that I need to do, so that I don't have to be on it. Because I'm trying. Because my next goal is to get off dialysis.
Right. Now, one thing I want to add to what you're saying, I want to get to Auntie Ruth, but one thing I want to add real quick, two things, doing what you have to do, because if you want to get a kidney transplant and you're not doing right on dialysis, your nephrologist can tell the people, whatever list that you're on, they can recommend, because it goes to them whether you know it or not. Are you a good candidate? Right. And so if you're not doing what you are supposed to do, because understand when someone, my kidney came from a 28-year-old person who actually had an accident on a motorcycle, and I was able to get a kidney, thank God. But now catch this. Why would they give me a kidney and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do on dialysis? Absolutely. That's a wasted kidney, and someone who's doing what they're supposed to do should get that kidney. And so I'm saying to you, if you're on dialysis, do what you're supposed to do. Eat right, do right, exercise, do the things that you got to do, go to every appointment. And another thing, stop being so mean. It's not the doctor's fault. It's not the nurse's fault. It's not the dialysis tech fault. Listen, for me, it was polycystic kidney disease. And as bad as I didn't want to go on dialysis, the fussing and fighting and pushing and being mean and throwing stuff and all of that, it couldn't fix anything. And the whole story that Terance was talking about today, for that nurse being so nice and doing, if he was mean, do you think that she would do what she do? Right. Do you think she would invite him to meet her husband and her children? If you was if you was mean, I'm not gonna put a title up, but if you was that mean person. So the thing is, stop being so mean. I mean, needles hurt. So I mean, I've seen people when they get stuck with the needle, they go off on the nurse and cussing and all of that. Listen, and making them cry. Listen, stop. Right. Stop. That's good. Get it together. Be nice. Work it, because nobody wants to work with you, doctors. And when you get there, listen, you go do them. I don't want to deal with them. Blah blah blah. And listen, change it, because again, you're not living. You're not living. So those two things I want to say. Make sure you're doing right to get the kidney, and stop being so mean. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. And mean to your spouses too, and all them around. Let your wife. Your husband's fault that you're on dialysis. Stop. Stop it. Yeah. I had to make sure I say that. T, y'all got anything? I want to do a commercial. Y'all got anything to add on that before we do commercial? Come right back. I'm gonna talk to Auntie Ruth.
No.
Nah, we're
We're
good.
gonna do a commercial. Okay, we're gonna do a commercial and come back. I want to say, Auntie Ruth, you can ask some questions. I'm gonna read yours, but if you have questions, go ahead and type them in. We're gonna attack some of those tonight. Okay. Many life insurance companies consider kidney disease or being a kidney transplant patient a high risk and will not provide coverage. But there's good news. If you're in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Maryland, Virginia, or New Jersey, you can be covered with whole life insurance. Not only for kidney disease, but many chronic illnesses are now covered. Call 864-316-6124 to get the coverage you need. Give your loved ones the assurance they need knowing you are covered. Okay, we're back. I was trying to give my wife a bathroom break. I don't know if y'all heard me tell me. I apologize for that right there, for being unprofessional. I know she standing up straight and doing the commercial. But listen, if you need life insurance, whether you have whatever chronic illness, please make that phone call, 864-316-6124. And you don't have to just, even if it's the spouse, it's not just we're trying to help everybody. So if you know someone that needs help, whether it's counseling, if you know someone that's on dialysis, you guys go to Amazon.com, get the book, Dialysis is Not Your Life, and the workbook, get it. And then also, if you need life insurance, or because some companies say that we are high risk because we have kidney disease, kidney transplants, on dialysis, whatever chronic illness you may have, listen, you can still be covered because, again, we won't, even when we're not here, we want to be able to bless and help those who are around. We're not speaking death. We're speaking, making sure that you're covered. Okay. I want to make sure that I want to read something before we go. I want to read this from Audrey Mills. She said, "Thank God for keeping me 17 years and 3 months." So I want to say congratulations. I didn't know you were on dialysis. Oh, wow. And so, like we said before, just that average is 5 days. Doing what she was doing, and she has a kidney now. So I thank God. I celebrate you, Audrey. Celebrate you today and all others. We were talking about medications and doctors and talking to doctors. This is what Ruth Mills Sexton wrote. She said, "My blood pressure was out of control, and I called my heart doctor about putting me on another blood pressure pill. And he said to tell my neurologist to give it to me. I was so upset that he wasn't concerned. I called my primary physician and we prayed, but he put me back on a pill, but my pressure did not come down. I changed back to my first heart doctor, and he called me, talked to me until we got the right doses to get it down." And so what she's saying is, if you're not talking, that blood pressure, like I said, it's going to lead to something else. And if you already have kidney disease, you want to make sure that your blood pressure is correct. You want to make sure your blood sugar is right, make sure everything is right. So what she was saying is to make sure that you're talking to your doctor about whatever it may be.
Yes, is potassium pills good for
She asks, "Is potassium pills good or bad for kidneys? My feet stay swollen all the time." Potassium pills, in the right doses, it is good for your dialysis, because if your potassium is off, it can actually be, whether it's high or low, it can be deadly. Especially if it's high, you can die. I mean, it's deadly and or low. And so that's one reason, as I was talking about, you need to make sure that you're doing your blood work at least. If you can get it, if your insurance pays for your blood work once a month, do it. If it pays for twice a month, do it. If it's 3, whatever, but try not to let it go 6 months before you know what's going on with your body. Make sure that you have a high blood pressure machine, however the thing, make sure you have that at home. If you don't have the monitor, thank you, baby. Make sure you have that at home. checking it regularly. And a lot of times people check it in the morning, and then because it's good in the morning, then they don't check it at all. But your blood pressure is basically always good in the morning because you just got up, you ain't ate nothing, you ain't moving. When you start checking it in the afternoon and check it before you go to bed, that's when you know, hey, I got a blood pressure problem and you need to fix it. And so sometimes we try to change things and say, oh, because I was running, blah, 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 blah. But for me, I check my blood pressure 3 times back to back 3 times to let me know, because you can, there's something called the white coat syndrome, and I know I dealt with that when you go into the doctor, because I was so nervous, my blood pressure would be high. And so they would wait till they would come back and wait till I calm down, and they'll check it before I go, I'm good. But I had to prove it. So I had to write down, I'm helping somebody, I had to prove that my blood pressure is what it is, because I take my blood pressure 3 times a day. And so when you go to the doctor and it's high, you can say, hey, this is what it is, okay? So that you'll know what's going on. So make sure you're with that. But potassium pills, yes, make sure that you're taking that. But with the saying that your feet stay swole, I want to say, if you do have kidney issues, one thing is that swelling is part of the problem. That's one thing. But one thing I want to say with that is make sure that you got your feet up. Make sure you drinking less. Make sure walking. I mean, that exercise thing is, y'all, that is key. If you're not exercising, if you can't walk, get a stationary bike. Get one of the things that you can pedal in front of the television. Invest in your health. Because I'm saying this because I am a personal trainer, and so I train people who are on dialysis. I work with Kenny, and I work with other people, and so I'm saying this to you, please, guys, take care of that and talk to your doctor. So if it's not going down, that's something that you got to continue to talk. Say, hey, I tried this, and this. It ain't going down. What is the plan? What is the plan? Because I can promise you, it's not fun walking around swollen. It's not. And so what is it that you have to do? So the thing is, with the doctor, develop a plan, stick to the plan. But my thing that I say to you, and also men, if you're out there, while I'm talking, your phosphorus pills. A lot of men, we don't take medicine. If your phosphorus is off, whether it's high or low, you can lose your reproductive organ. I hope you know what I'm talking about without being nasty. But it will be, you can get an infection because of your phosphorus is not right, and you will not be, they take it off. They take it off. So I'm telling you, take your medicine, do what is right. I believe that's all the questions that's all the questions we got that we have. Okay, I think that's, if any other questions, you guys, I believe that's it. I just want to say thank you. Thank y'all so much being on the show tonight. On your mark, reset, go. Ready. Get on your mark, and if things are not right, reset it, get another look, and let's go. And I'm going to say this to you, reset as many times as you have to in order to live. As many times as you have to in order to live. Not just dialysis, but if it's marriage, if it's relationship with God, if it's whatever, reset as much as you have to, because it's about life. Life is waiting on you. All right. I'm going to do a quick on Mondays at 10:15, a motivation with Fred. Every Monday morning, 10:15. We'll be on this Monday talking about win anyway. That's good. Win anyway. WIN anyway. So we'll be talking about that on Monday, and we'll be back here on Thursday as well with On Your Mark, Reset, Go, with someone else coming in. I don't know yet, but we're gonna make phone calls. And so okay, but we are determined to change lives and to help as many people as we can. So again, please get the book, Dialysis is Not Your Life, Amazon.com. If you need life insurance, the number 864-316-6124. And if you need to talk, whether you are a dialysis patient, whether you the caregiver or the child, we are here for you. So please check us out. Dialysis is Not Your Life.com. And let me put this, there it is. Dialysisisnotyourlife.com, or you can email me, fredhill808@gmail.com, with any questions that you may have to be able to help. And again, if you call, you can get a free consultation for the counseling and the coaching to get the plan to get your life back. We are here. All right, baby, you have anything else you want to share?
No.
You good? All right. Well, closing. Terance and Erica, do y'all have anything y'all want to share before we close out?
I just want to say thank you for having us. This was, I think we both were a little nervous because this is our first time publicly speaking about his dialysis and him being in need of a kidney. But we want to thank you for bringing us out of that comfort zone, hoping that something we said today can help someone else. So we are very grateful.
Yeah, I just I appreciate you. You know, I tell you all the time that you're more than a brother to me. And I really look up to you in a lot of ways, you know, and it's not that I try to be like you, but I observe you and I watch how you handle things, and it encourages me to let me know that I can do the same, you know, not trying to be like you, but I know that there is a way out.
Yes.
You know, because you have made it, and I know I can too. And it just like Erica was saying, you know, I know I've been selfish when it comes to telling folks about where I am. You know, it's I don't want people to look at me, look down on me. I don't want nobody to pity me. You know, that's why, you know, I have chosen to, you know, not to say as much, but right now I know that if I don't tell and nobody knows my situation, and if they can help, they will never help me because I've never said.
Wow.
As they say, a closed mouth will never get fed. Wow. So I have a need today so that anybody that's watching, anybody that knows that I'm in need of a kidney, you know, we as Black folks, we don't think about being organ donors, living organ donors, you know, and that's something that, you know, we can do, and we can help other folks. And the thing about it is, whatever you donate as a living organ, you know, if you become in need, that automatically puts you at the top of the list. Yes. And see, people don't know that. You know, people think that if I give you a kidney, then if something happened to me, then I need one. I've been messing around. But it automatically puts you in front of everybody else because you was willing to give.
Man. Yeah.
You know, so they'll be, you know, they'll be willing to give back to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so we gotta help one another. You know, education is the key.
Right.
It's the key. You know, that's what the word says, that we perish for the lack of knowledge. So education is the key. That's not just, that's biblical principles, but it applies everywhere.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Right. Yes. And I want to back that up as T was talking. So if anybody's out there, you want to be tested to see if you are a candidate, the same information applies. Because on Dialysis is Not Your Life on the website, you can also leave messages, and also you can call the numbers there as well, and then also with the email address that we have. So if you're willing to be a candidate to donate a kidney, listen right there. God bless you. And so that's the next step in what we're doing. But we do want to say, you gonna say something? We do want to say thank you Thank you. Thank you for
y'all
all.
so
Thank y'all
much.
so much for being on.
And sharing your story.
Yes, because one thing you were saying, your story is a story of strength. And
Yeah.
so that's the awesome thing, because it's and I hate to say this, but this is about On Your Mark, Reset, Go. If anybody's going to be on the show, it's the ones who are living, because it has to be an example to help the ones who are not.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the reason. And so for you to even be on the show, it's because, not because you're my brother, but because what you're doing and you're living, because there's so many that are not.
Right. It's a story of strength and life.
Strength in life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, that's it, guys. Y'all check us out on next Thursday. On Your Mark, Reset, Go. Check us out on this coming Monday at 10:15 a.m. Motivation with Fred. Win anyway. So we're going to talk about that. And so again, we thank everybody that was watching. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you, Stephanie, Angie, Audrey, Jasmine, and all others who, did I miss any others who left messages and all? I don't want to miss nobody. Thank everybody who was on. Rose, Alan, thank you as well. So and Angie, Tyler, thank all of y'all for being on the show. All right, you guys be blessed. And Auntie Bob, thank you for being on the show. Don't hang up yet. We're gonna close the show off, but y'all don't hang up. Okay.
Okay.
All right, y'all have a good one until next week. Be blessed. Bye-bye.